Alright, so you may or may not have heard of this one. This is a new movie that just came out on Apple TV Plus. I've been seeing trailers and marketing leading up to this, and myself being an animation fan and watching the trailers, I thought it looked good. This movie's been on my radar for a while. So now let's talk about it. I've had this shirt since 2009. I got it from Disneyland. Luck. So Luck, like I said, is a new animated movie on Apple TV Plus. And it's funny, like watching the trailers for this, you would swear this is like a new Pixar movie. But it's actually brought to us by Skydance Animation. So in this movie, our main character is Sam Greenfield, and she's pretty much got Charlie Brown syndrome. She has bad luck all the time. One day she finds a lucky penny, things seem to start going her way, but then she loses it and then she meets this black cat named Bob, who can talk because it turns out that he is from the Land of Luck. So Sam follows this cat to the Land of Luck, and now we have our adventure. There is more to the plot than that, but that does get kind of spoiler-filled, so I'm not going to talk about that here. But now we have our new movie, which is not as good as I was hoping it was. I'll just get right to the chase. I was disappointed by this one, unfortunately. I mean, the character Sam Greenfield, first of all, she's voiced by Eva Noblezada, and I love Eva Noblezada. Why? Because she's Eurydice from Hadestown, that's why. She is a fantastic actress and a great singer. She has a great voice. So naturally, she is a great voice actress, but it's the character herself. She's just a little too goody-goody for my taste, almost to an annoying degree. I mean, she's really selfless. She puts others' needs before her own. That's not the bad thing. The thing is that she's almost naive about it. Like, at a point, I was like, you really can't be serious about this, can you? I don't know. Maybe I'm just a dick. And then there's Bob, who's voiced by Simon Pegg, who I also think is great. And I actually ended up really liking this character. There is more to him than meets the eye as well, because again, we see black cats, we think bad luck. But apparently in Scotland, since this is a Scottish black cats are seen as good luck over there. I didn't know that. I do think that's pretty cool. And so the chemistry between Sam and Bob, you know, they go on their adventure together, they get along, and then they don't, and then they do. It's pretty formulaic. And I will say the movie has a good message about luck. You know how good luck can be great, but bad luck can also be a blessing in disguise at times too. I do think that is an important lesson. You can tell the writers had their hearts in the right place when they were writing this movie, but I'm just talking about the concept here. The execution of said concept unfortunately misfired. I'll get to the reasons in a minute, because I'm still on the positives here. The animation looks really neat sometimes. You know, it's this fictional magical world, the Land of Luck, where all these magical creatures control the luck of the human world. There's good luck and there's bad luck. It was neat to see how things operated sometimes. Kind of like Inside Out, except Inside Out is much more clever than this movie. But it was still interesting. And the score. John Debney did the score for this film. He's been around for a while. And his score for this movie was good. It was serviceable. It was a nice, fun, animated movie score. I'm not going to go out of my way to listen to it again, but it definitely worked for the vibe of this film. It did its job pretty well. So ultimately, that's what I liked about this movie. The score, Simon Pegg's character, and the animation sometimes, you know, and the wittiness kind of sorta of the Land of Luck. Other than that though, yeah, like I said, quite a few things about this film ended up misfiring. First and foremost, the script. The setup of this movie, right from the get-go, I was like, okay, it's not doing it in the best way. Because it does that transgression where it gives you all the information in a really on-the-nose way. It's like these characters are just spouting out the information like exposition for our sake. So we can hold on to that information because it's going to be important later on in the movie. Like, you know how in Back to the Future, the scene where Doc Brown is going on about how this mall used to be farmland as far as the eye can see? Old man Peabody had this dream, this vision about breeding pine trees. And you're like, who's he talking to? Oh yeah, he's talking to us, the audience, because that'll be important information when Marty goes back in time to see the farmland. That was the only reason Doc Brown even mentioned Old Man Peabody's, because it was exposition for us, the audience. Stuff like that happens in this movie, and it's really on the nose. And so stuff like that leads me to think, okay, so this movie's just meant for kids. From the trailers, I thought it would be meant for the whole family. But no, adults are gonna pick this movie apart. And in some cases, that would be fine if this were just a kids movie for kids, but it's doing kids a disservice in my opinion. Because sometimes things will happen in this movie where I'll be like, that's not how life works. It's kind of sending kids the wrong message. Like, hey kids, if you do this, then this will happen. I'm trying to be vague. And I was like, no, that wouldn't happen. Life ain't always so sweet, movie. And then once we get to the Land of Luck, and we're on our adventure, like at a point they're explaining how everything works, how good luck and bad luck coincide with each other, and how everything operates. Eventually I was like, this is needlessly convoluted. Like, I don't know if kids are gonna keep up with all this information about how all the mechanics work in the Land of Luck. And then it does another transgression where it becomes a video game plot. Oh, we gotta get this item, but to get this item, we gotta do this first. But in order to do this, we gotta talk to someone else. I was like, man, we're doing that? Granted, kids aren't gonna care, but I'm not a kid, so I can give that a ding. One of the worst things this movie does is there are some pretty cringe moments in this one. Like this one scene, it's the most cringeworthy moment in the entire film, where Bob is doing something and so Sam needs to distract all these other people. So what does she do? She starts singing Madonna. And all the bunnies are like, oh, she's singing Madonna. Let's go over there and watch and dance along. And the music cues up, I was like, oh my god, I almost can't watch this. I mean, granted, the song itself is fun, but it reminded me of a worse version of that scene in Ice Age the Meltdown with Sid and all the little sloths. You remember that scene? That scene was really funny. This one, And throughout this movie, there are a couple of moments like that where I was like, this is cringe. You know, like, who thought this was good? So in the end, Luck, I felt, was a misfire. Which is unfortunate because, again, from the trailers, I thought this looked like a really cool concept. And it is still a cool concept. Just the execution was way off. And that's always a bummer. I like Simon Pegg's character, I like the animation, sure, the score was good, and it is a good concept, but the script was just, it was bad. There's no other way to say it, really. The on-the-nose exposition, the cookie-cutter generic video game plot, and the cringe moments all lead to, I don't recommend this film. Sorry, Skydance Animation. Better luck next time. So Luck, have you watched it yet? What are your thoughts on it? Or what's your favorite recent animated movie that's not Pixar? That's a good question, so whatever you think, go ahead and leave a comment. And of course, thank you for subscribing. Peace!